Americans, generally speaking, don't take enough time to mourn. We travel around the world, in other parts of the world, mourning is a thing. If you read the Bible, people take days to mourn. It is healing. When you cry, you're releasing toxins and you're processing the dynamics of loss, your relationship to what you lost, and your relationship to the eternal. But the scripture says, give it time, but then after the time, then you stop mourning. There's a time to mourn and there's a time to not mourn. And here's the deal. When we're done mourning, here's the question, what are we going to do with our lives? I'm a Kobe fan, and I appreciate all of the jerseys and the vigils and all that kind of stuff. You know what? But the best way to honor Kobe is to change our lives. It's to live differently. When we're faced with the reality of a loss we didn't expect. You see someone like Kobe, you don't think it could happen to him. We know this in our heads, but we just don't think it could happen to somebody like him, especially someone who was already great on the basketball court, but in the latter part of his life, he was just having his best life. He was focused on his children. He was focused on mentoring, and I don't know him personally to talk about his faith, but from what I can see externally, which is limited from what I can see externally, he had some level of devotion to his Catholic faith. And he went to Mass right before the plane crash. And so we don't imagine these things happening to people like that, but this is why we mourn.